Hello, Jerry here again to discuss another facet of bureaucracy. Previously, I shot a very short 4 minute video that tells us where I expect to find our democratic candidates. Today, I want to discuss this in a lot more detail. I hope that you will bear with me. I appreciate that bureaucracy is quite idealistic and might be difficult to get off the ground. But any solution to systemic and societal decline will not be obvious or easy to enact. And please bear with me because I will suggest reasons later that might counter the idea that bureaucracy can't get going. It is my argument that what we need now in many countries are intelligent, business savvy humanitarians to lead us. These are my primary targets. And I can see a set or type of individual that fits the bill perfectly. Our primary targets are successful business people who work for local or national charities or locally societally based associations. Nearly every town has a couple of these. Every city probably has dozens. I can't see another set or type of people who have the necessary attitude or mindset to lead us where we need to get to better our economies and our societies. I believe that we must call them. Most of these people will not want to be politicians, but I've heard it said that anyone who wants to be a politician should be barred from being one. A quote I read lately says that great leaders do not choose to lead, they are called by necessity. Due to their altruism, it is obvious to me that in a way these people are already activists. They seem to have a want, possibly even a vocation, to help their fellow man. I would suggest that many of these people will, at the very least, get involved with their democratic groups if they are called on to do so. They may not want to be our candidates, but in our groups, if they do not stand, we will find what I would call secondary candidates. Bureaucracy is not even in its infancy. There is no bandwagon to jump on here. We will not find disingenuous people joining our ranks. I think that those that make up our early groups will be good, intelligent humanitarians who want to establish better governance for the sake of future generations from a societal and particularly nowadays probably a climatic point of view. Our primary targets, if they want to stand for office, will help find our secondary candidates in our group among these people. Perhaps a third source of candidate could be if a good independent politician in your constituency who you feel fits the bill, these people could be our candidates. It would also be my hope that a democratic party can get experts elected to office. Experts in global warming, economy, agriculture, healthcare, etc. Sometimes governments nowadays, when they look for experts, will hire consultants. I don't want to be judgmental here, but that word conjures up all sorts of ideas in my head here. Sometimes consultants can be hired in to tell the government what they want to hear. They may do surveys. Surveys can be set up to tell people what they want to hear. If we have experts in our ranks, conscientious experts, then we will find a government that will take us in the right direction. Socrates suggests that true wisdom lies in realizing what we don't know. If we follow his message, then the experts in our ranks will fill the vacuum with whatever knowledge we have. If I can go back again to the question, how do we get our primary candidates to stand for office? Well, if a candidate in one of our constituencies feel that there is a candidate as capable as he is standing in other constituencies, he'll be much more likely to run for office for us, to partake. The one adage that I keep coming back to when I discuss democracy is, fail we may, sail we must. I really want to give this a go. And people have said to me that they won't get our primary candidates to stand for office. But that is why we target secondary candidates. Anyway, how will we know if we don't ask them? Remember, great leaders do not choose to lead. They are called by necessity. Look at Adolf Sutro in California, San Francisco. Successful businessman in the late 19th century on the west coast of America, seeing the depravity and neglect in San Francisco, he sold many of his businesses, invested the money in building infrastructure and resources for these people. He then became mayor, where again he furthered their interests, helped them again. There are good people out there. They need to be called. Great change only happens in chaotic times. Someone must drive that change. We can do it. You can help here. We have a democratic strategy. The necessity that can spur great leaders to be convinced to come forward is definitely present. You'll never get if you don't ask. Let's ask them. Perhaps it is naive to think that something like democracy can get off the ground without finance. A quick Google search tells me that there are 2,668 billionaires in the world. There are over 56 million millionaires, almost 1% of the world's population. I searched for benevolent billionaires, and in seeing 5 names, I noticed that below the 5 names, there were 17 rows of names below. Many of these believe in more progressive tax systems in countries like America and believe in much more wealth equality. I think if some of these would help if called to finance democracy. Again, you will never get if you don't ask. Let's ask them. There's a Greek proverb that says, societies grow great when old men plant trees, the shade of which they know they will never sit in. The most likely place to look for these people is among those that already give time, money, and effort altruistically. These are the people that I'm targeting. Come on, if we don't ask them, we will never know. Please help me find good people for good people to vote for. It's estimated in some countries that between 25 and 35% of people, sometimes up to 40% of people, do not vote. Many of these people don't vote because they think there's no one worth voting for. Give them people worth voting for. Many of the 65% of people who do vote are also looking for a better alternative. Please give them good people to vote for. Populist politicians will only take us in one direction, and our decline is already like a runaway train. And many politicians don't even want to stop it. Please help me stop it. Please get involved here. Share the videos, subscribe to the channel, buy the book, form your groups, help me out here. Thank you very much for listening. All the best. Good luck.